did it this time. I actually set everything up. Look at it! I am so proud of myself. Please do not tell me anything is wrong, because I will cry. It's weird that I'm not getting all the messages showing up in the restream thingy, because you sent an emoji earlier, or an emote earlier, and I didn't see it. But yeah, I have to show off my makeup because, hang on, I'm wearing eyeshadow for the first time in years. I don't do that shit. I have lipstick. I mean, I've been wearing lipstick. I contoured. The only time I contoured in the last 3 years was when we went to a goth club. Just shook. Absolutely shook. Wait. Oh, I did everything. I did everything wrong. See, because I thought I was being cute and quirky with the chat. Because in this scene, I wanted to put that there, and then the top one. Upsetting that it can't be animated. I'm gonna have to get a better one. Great. Fucker. Well, I don't have any water, but I have this apple energy drink. So I guess if you wait. Oh my god, the hydrate function for when I have weed drinks. That's such a good idea. Hang on. I'm getting one. I've acquired the weed drink. And I don't know if I should add the caffeine thing to it, or I might just drink it as is. Hi! It is spooky season. I'm wearing eyeshadow for the first time in years. You can't see it though, apparently. Oh wait, I can do this. Oh. And he's been here the whole time.
It's September, and that's the beginning of spooky season.
Bro, we have a month and a day. That is not enough time. I wanted to start last week. No.
I'm sitting in this room with the lights all on. I am so afraid. I hate scary games.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like this.
Already? Just based on the sounds it makes? Oh. Wait, are you saying... Wait, are you me in the mirror? Is that what we're...
I think that's the implied.
Yeah, this looks like a bathroom mirror.
Yeah, so we're supposed to put ourselves together. I guess you and me are both part of that self. I'm gonna go walk through the hall over here, though.
Yeah.
Hi!
Whoa, hi. That's cool. I like that framing. To be like, you are the same person.
Yeah, don't need text on the screen for that shit.
No. Why is there a skeleton ritual?
Oh, I picked up the camera. Cute.
I picked up the flashlight.
Poggers.
What's the skull thingy? Can I die?
Kyle asks,
am I supposed to?
The gaming champ is here. Are you a pro in this game as well?
No. This isn't a skill game. This is a skull game. Oh, is that where you die? Okay, I kind of don't want to do that yet. I'm just exploring. Oh, I'm already dying. I think.
I think we're supposed to go through the gate.
Yeah, we are supposed to die. Alright.
Ah!
I hate pictures, I hate pictures, I hate pictures. Don't look at me.
Oh my god.
Have I? Okay, cool. Good to know.
Maybe we both just stand in this.
Maybe I grabbed the skeleton guy. I thought that was the horror portion of the game. The being bad
Wait,
at
can
it?
you-
The dying part? Oh.
That is. Can you shine the light on the ceiling? Question mark.
Well, I just heard a sound. Oh! There's a path up.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know how to get there though.
Wait, shine the light on the ceiling again.
Where?
Just straight up. Like. I'm hearing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh!
Where you hear the sound? In.
Right here. What's
Okay.
just happened?
I think the gate opened.
Oh, I killed him with light. Alright.
You shine the light up there and it made a noise. I saw in the camera a pentagram and I took a picture of it and it opened the gate.
Oh, we work together.
I see.
Yay.
Maybe you should be camera. I want to kill myself so I can be a flashlight. I did not intend
I
to pick
touched
that
it.
up.
Oh. Wisha, wisha, wisha. Wisha, wisha, wisha. Are you less scared now?
No, I'm still so scared.
Okay. I'm jealous.
I mean, video game sense is just telling me.
Put the lava in the lava? Yeah, that's smart.
Oh my god, our legs regenerated.
That's cute.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Oh my god!
Oh.
There was a brain.
What?
There was a brain over here, and when I shined the flashlight on it, it disappeared.
Well, only thing to do is walk forward, so let's do it.
Whoa, okay. Hello, Mr. Brain. I've killed you with my light.
Okay, so
again.
I had to keep the camera on it long enough that it got the pentagram and then it died, but it was only scared by
I
the
see.
flashlight.
And then we went down again.
Can you shine your light?
No, because I want to know what it does.
It probably
I don't
killed
want to
you.
kill it. Oh, right. Well, I needed to know. Hide yourself, hide your needs. Hide yourself, hide your needs. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I got to
I
be
can do that.
flashlight.
Okay. Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay.
There's one right behind me if you want to take a picture of it.
I can't see it. Oh! Taking a picture doesn't work unless the flashlight's on it. Unless, oh, I guess, no, I just had to have it on there for a while. Oh, please, where are you?
It's not here yet.
Oh, I see. So, we need that, but there is one right there.
I'm just shining lights. Can I shine if I pick shit up? No, I can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll guard if you take it.
Well, I'm the one who can ward off the monsters, so I feel like you should take it.
I'm the one who can kill them.
Fair points. Oh my fucking god!
What? It didn't, the pentagram You have to be shining the flashlight. It just doesn't matter what direction.
You weren't
I guess.
looking at the monster that killed me.
Oh.
Okay, so what just happened was there were a lot of little flamingos. Hello, King Chadley. And then there was a big vagina monster that popped out of the wall.
A vagina monster.
Yeah.
Okay, there are these brains. There's one right there. Apparently I can't kill them unless Caleb is... Oh, no, that's a penis. I'm so silly and cute. That's a penis.
Yeah, that is a penis.
Where is it?
Over there.
Oh, because you can see it and I can't?
I'm shining the light directly at it and I'm not moving.
Oh, you're facing... Let's see. What the fuck, is it moving?
No. You're just not looking at it. There you go.
Oh. Whoops.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's flamingo penis. I can't believe I thought it was a brain for so long and it just happened to have a penis on it.
Maybe in the non-streamer censored version, it just looks like an actual penis.
Oh, now I'm curious.
Well, we can't look at that now.
Okay.
Onward.
I think
There's
having
one
you
right-
on... Oh, there's one down there. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna run though.
Yeah, you can't shine it at them or they run. But you have to be shining it for me to get a pentagram.
Yeah.
So shine it.
Yep.
You can't shine it at it where it runs. But I got it before it left. Alright, let's hit this one.
Okay,
there's a vagina
so
monster.
There will be a vagina monster that pops out of this right wall.
Okay. So we should just get past it somehow?
You can definitely kill it. We just have to, like, be ready for that when it shows up.
Okay.
I think it appears when I pick up the cauldron.
Yeah, that
tell
makes
you-
sense. We have to kill.
I'm gonna-
We have to kill that flamingo. So you have to shine the light on, not
Yeah.
at it, not at it, not at it.
I'm not shining it at it.
Okay, move her for a while.
Vagina, right side.
I'm trying to kill this before it kills me, but I can't. I guess I don't get a pentagram if there's a vagina.
I don't think you get a pentagram unless the light is directly on it.
No, because that's not... Alright, let's try it then. Don't shine it at the monster, the skeleton gate, and we'll see what happens. Shine it completely
just-
away from it.
Okay.
Okay, you're right. It does have to be shining in the general vicinity, but it does not have to be shining directly at it.
I think that the flamingos just run away. That's just part of their programming. So that it
The
makes
other
them
one
harder to
didn't.
kill. Some of them do, some of them don't. I tell you what, that vagina monster runs toward us.
There you go. Have some legs.
This one ran off somewhere. Oh god, he
So
scared
the
me. I thought
vagina
you were-
monster came once I was on the platform.
It came after I picked up the cauldron. Behind you.
What?
Oh. Well. Have you seen the vagina monster yet? Like with your actual
No.
eyes?
I would like to. So you're saying that if nobody picks it up right away, the vagina monster won't come?
I think that's how this works.
Because last I checked, when the vagina monster came before, It was because I was on the platform, not
I had
because you
already
picked
picked it up before then.
it up. Oh. But we agreed to kill this first.
Yeah, but I picked it up.
Alright. So now, you're gonna
Someone
have to
made
go... We're gonna have to stand here, and we're gonna have to look at it, and you're gonna
Yeah.
have to pick it up, and then strategically drop it and turn around.
Here he comes.
I don't actually know where it's supposed to be.
There.
Oh.
Where the light is. Ah! Yay! Hooray! Oh my god.
Alright.
Yeah, we don't want the vagina monster to come. Alright. Escatite.
Watch it. Watch, there's gonna be a new one. We definitely don't want the vagina monster to come.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, and what do we get as a prize?
A penis? Whoa, a whole
Torso.
torso.
Damn. Okay, so there must be only 2 more parts left.
It's a quick game.
I mean, it's a quick game depending on how often you die.
I don't know how you could die any more often. So we're going this way instead of the other way.
Yeah, because there is a cauldron here. There's
Oh,
a.
that's right. I think there's still a wall. Yeah, I think there's a different entrance to that cauldron.
I feel like there's a puzzle somewhere. Why else would there be this like area down here? Yoink.
What's over here? Oh, a flamingo, that's what.
Did you get it or no?
Aw. No, he got away.
I'm gonna wait.
Oh shit, fuck. Yeah, oh, high five.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking freaked out. I hate this shit. Oh my god, the cauldron.
Okay, so when you pick this one up, will there be a new
Oh
vagina
yeah.
monster?
Good thoughts.
And I wonder where. So I guess we just gotta pick it up, put it down, and look everywhere.
Yeah, okay. Ready, go. It's this way. Maybe? No.
How do you know? You can't even fucking
I
see
don't.
it.
I usually hear them first.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
Bullshit.
Oh, I bet it's triggered some other way.
I hate this so much.
Yeah,
Okay,
I hate that you have to die every step of the way to find out how
Okay.
it's played, because otherwise...
I will pick it up because I can pick it up, drop it, and flashlight a lot quicker than you because I'm not on a trackpad.
No. I should pick it up, because without your flashlight, the camera does nothing. Oh god, there's a vagina monster right there. Well, it's not a vagina. What is that?
Don't know, don't care. Got him. Let's
Intestines.
go.
Alright, let's get it. Wait, why are we going this way?
Isn't this the way out?
No. But you're down
No.
there now, so I guess I'll follow you.
Dude, what the was that intestines?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, chat. What was that?
I have no idea. Oh, I hear something. Ah!
What? Where? Oh god.
It's
Not
stuck.
coming closer.
He's not moving. You can go
Oh,
get
because
him.
I...
Holy shit.
I think that was a brain. Maybe.
That one looked like a brain. I thought the
Alright.
camera switching was being done manually because it was legit. Okay, cool.
Oh, good. Okay. No, that would be high levels of skill. I have it set to pick random intervals.
Picture time.
Where?
He's coming around the corner. Just get ready for it.
I think he's run away because of your...
No, he's not run away. I can see him.
Oh, God.
Oh god, chat.
That okay, these are not body parts anymore. These are just monsters.
There's another one. There's another one. Why is there another one?
Is there gonna keep being?
I guess they're just gonna keep spawning. Okay.
I think it's behind you. Unless
Nope,
you can see
it's
it.
literally where I'm shining it at. I
Behind
can
you?
see it. I can see it.
Do we just have to put up with the fact that now there's gonna be monsters constantly? There's another one.
The answer to that question seems to be yes. Where's the last fucking piece, brother? Sorry, I'm so
Well,
loud.
We have a lot of different directions we can go. And we have not been many places. Like, you can go forward down here.
Oh, true. I'll keep my ears peeled because I'm hearing them before I see them for sure.
Yeah. Is this a pause? Have I paused?
Not likely, but it's fine.
Alright. I just wanted a sip of the bubbly.
You should take that sip extremely fast.
Resume.
Okay, we're good. Go ahead. We're fine.
Take
They
another
move
sip?
slow. Yeah, they move slow. That's fine.
Just got it on my laptop.
Left side.
Fuck's sake. Fuck!
Well, GG.
And when he says I can take another sip, and he doesn't.
I thought
No.
you could. I'm sorry.
In this case, I don't care about that as much because you're in a situation where you can't know, and I know that, and it's obvious. So I'm not gonna be mad if you say things as absolute because. Where do I want this to be? I guess right here is correct. Oh, Caleb, you can dance.
This is some Hudman camera movement right now.
Hi. I'm gonna go Pete, that's right. I forgot. Hey, this is Aka's. You don't eat these. I do. Since when do we eat the same foods?
What do you mean you both eat chicken? There's gotta be some speedrun tech to this game.
But what I didn't say was I'm so distracted. What I didn't say. Oh, right. Multitasking is not meant for me. Actually, I take that back. I'm fine at multitasking when I'm not having this.
It's over here?
Well, this is where the last one we found was. The wall to the cauldron. And then beyond the cauldron.
Did we pick this? I don't think we picked this one up.
Yeah, we did. That's the one we picked up. Oh, no, we didn't.
No, this is like in the ground. I don't remember picking this one up. So this is the fourth one. Okay. Hold on, there's a guy here. Ah, don't run toward me, you fucking oh, Jesus Christ, it's so fast.
I don't even have time. Why is it doing that?
It's dancing.
Apparently they get aggressive when they get over here.
Hold on. Can you... There we go. That was annoying.
So, but we can still go this way, so that means that there's definitely more.
Yeah, there's some more shit over here.
So let's just continue our progress, because I want to discover things organically first. Okay, but what's over here? Oh, that's that. There's a lot more to this than I think we think.
Probably.
Is this the way?
This is a way.
I don't think getting high while streaming games is a good idea.
Probably
I think
not.
it makes it hard to do the thing. We get home. I guess this is home.
Where
right?
are you? Where are you?
Oh no. Oh no, am I lost?
Hold on, don't move, don't pick anything up.
Okay, I'll stand in the light. This is where I came from. So then where are you? Oh no, are you moving around?
No, dude.
Found
I see you.
Yay. Okay, so let's go this way so we can go back.
Yeah. Wait, wouldn't we want to pick up this one because it's the furthest away from the thing?
We don't know what happens when we pick that one up. There could be
True.
respawning monsters.
I mean, there already are respawning monsters whenever we pick up a cauldron. That's why they kept coming at us.
No. After we pick up the third cauldron, there are respawning monsters.
Well, no, after we picked up the first one, the vagina monster kept spawning and the tentacle monster kept spawning.
You're right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get this one because it's the furthest away.
Alright, yeah, you decide what we do all by yourself. That's fine.
Okay, well fine. What do you want to do?
I told you what I want to do, but if you really think that we should try this, let's just try it, because we're not that far in.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright. Fuckers. Fuckers. Oh, I did say earlier, I felt like maybe you have to wait till you cross a certain threshold. See, that's stupid because, Caleb, my camera does nothing without the flashlight.
I know, but I can just do this quick. Behind you.
Okay, but I can... Oh, God. Alright, and then the next step is I get into position
Yeah.
to...
He'll be that way.
Yep. Wait.
You ready?
That way. Right. Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay. Picking it up. There he is. Wait. Is this the right way?
Yes, Caleb.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay, you walk in an annoying way. I don't like being behind you.
Why?
This is how you walk.
Yeah, bro, I'm schmoving. What do you mean? I hear Vagina Man.
Well, let's just keep. Let's. Here, we'll find a place to stop. We'll stop and we'll kill him then. Maybe. Or we can just move forward, honestly.
It's up to you. I'm fine doing
Let's just-
either.
But,
Okay.
so I want to say, we need. Grab me by the shoulders. We need to. Bro, I should not get high in game.
Chad says goodnight.
Okay, good night. Thanks for joining
Vagina Man,
us.
Vagina Man, Vagina Man, Vagina Man.
Oh, okay.
This is not really a vagina. Is it a vagina? I don't know. What are you saying?
No,
to me
we're
now?
just calling it that. Oh, yeah. I like following the previous pattern that we followed, even though we could go in a different order, because then we don't get lost. We know
Yeah,
where
that's a
we
good
are
plan.
at all times if we move in the same order.
Let's wait a second before picking it up for the Vagina Man to respawn. And then we kill it, and then we start running. Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, I think he's gonna keep respawning, so why
But-
don't we just...
If we kill him now, then he's like on his death timer for a while. You feel me? Sorry, I'm being very video gamey about this.
No, I am also thinking in this way. I'm also just wondering if maybe there are trigger events as well, like picking it up.
Hmm.
So.
Oh wait, there's a
but
penis up here. Hold on.
Jesus, it's so
Don't
fast.
fucking touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay. Good. Ew.
All right.
Vagina
I
Man here.
carry. Oh God. Thank you for running away. If I were you, I would have been like, well, I'm done.
No,
Alright, I gotta carry it.
Yeah, go for it. Let's get out of here.
Can't see shit out here. Thank you.
Yar, up those stairs.
Oh, God.
Drop it.
Oh fuck!
You're good, you're good. We got it. Very nice. Behind you, behind you.
Fuck! I'm gonna flip a coin on whether we try again or not.
I'm okay, honestly. Tell you what, next time we play this game, I'm sure we'll beat it.
Oh, certainly.
Oh, certainly.
This gonna be me. This gonna be me soon, for real, for real. In my bed, sleeping like a bird.
Thanks for inviting me on. I had a good time. I was scared. I'm still scared.
I'm glad. That's what it's for. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not easily scared by these things. Especially like when it's like so crunchy. It just doesn't do anything like that to me. And the monsters move so
Turn off
slowly.
the crunchiness then.
You know, I didn't consider that. Next time we will look at what it looks like with less crunch. But
Sure.
I was certain that
Yeah. I tell you what, I am actually just most excited and happy that like we played a game together on stream and there were no major hiccups. I was kind of bog, honestly.
yeah, that's true. We did it. We have a beautiful Halloween setup, and
True.
I will get my notifications up to date and in order, and hopefully one of these times, I mean, where are all the Americans at? That's who would be watching this right now. Maybe I'm just always streaming the wrong category.
Yeah, what is your category?
Games and demos. Because if I made it the game, no one, it's not like a super popular game, you know?
Sure. I didn't even know games and demos
Yeah, it's for when people are demoing games that aren't out yet. Typically, I assume, like, its original purpose.
Sure.
Do, do, do.
Oh, she's playing Lethal Company. This is another game that I think would work for spooky season, but it's just you need to be a lot faster and snappier.
I dropped my earbud.